Welcome to the Moments for Women TV talk show. I am your host, Chisoma Kumefele, and today we'll be discussing on a topic, sexual harassment, as it relates to people with disabilities. What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is an unpleasant sexual behavior which is offensive and intimidating. In our world today, we've heard of so many cases of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment occurs across various variety of circumstances, from people of power and all other walks of life. We've seen employers of labor that take advantage of their employees just to have sex with them in return. We've also seen cases in the university whereby lecturers have also asked the students to come in to offer him sexual favors just for marks. Well, this and so much more. We also have a case recently about a woman who said that her daughter actually raped her. She said that she went to the medical center for an examination, and then when she got there, the doctor said he was going to use a medical instrument known as transducer, which is usually used for ultrasound. So he was supposed to insert that into her vagina, but during the process of that ultrasound, the doctor actually removed the transducer and inserted his manhood. Can you imagine? This is what we are talking about, and that is why on the show we have a very, very wonderful and special guest who will be speaking to us on this topic. She is a very wonderful personality. In fact, I'm so much I am pleased and honored to have her here on the show. She's the founder of the Jadim Foundation, director of African Girls Network. She is the queen of the emoji community, OKERO, Kwara State. She's a royal icon, and then she has a master's degree in public health. Above all things, she has passion and interest for people with special needs. Well, let me keep you in suspense. So when we come back from the break, we are going to introduce her, we are going to see her. So don't go anywhere. You can also follow us and drop your comments on our social media handle at Facebook, Moments for Women, that is figure 4 women. On Twitter, it's also Moments for Women, and also on our YouTube page, Moments FOR Women. Please stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Moments for Women TV talk show. Like I said earlier, we have a special guest in our midst. She is a public health professional and she has interest in people with special needs. She is no other person than the beautiful Olori Bimbo Kolawole. Welcome, ma.
Thank you, Chisom.
Good to have you on the show.
I'm pleased to be here.
Oh, that's good. Okay, ma. Well, ma, we are aware that you are passionate about people with disabilities, and during the course of your job, we believe that you have encountered some of these victims of sexual harassment. What is your view, ma?
I would start with a little bit of a story. In the year 2014, I carried out a research on prevalence of sexual abuse among visually impaired young adults and adults in Oyo State. When I went into the field, I realized that a lot of persons with special needs, especially blind girls, are constantly being harassed, and it's actually going unreported. Wow. So it's like it became a custom. You know, people just say, okay, it's okay for you to harass me as long as you help me. You know, they've lost hope in our justice system, so everybody just keeps quiet about it. So it's like a kind of silence culture. These things are happening, and what everybody knows about persons with special needs that they most of the time depend on caregivers. Now, when you're depending on somebody to help you, and the person abuses you, you know that by reporting that person, you don't get care again. Of course. So most of the time, these caregivers take undue advantage of these girls and these boys, and it just, dies down. So when I went in for my research, it was like a ray of hope, a ray of light in a dark tunnel. And they were like, are you sure you can do anything about this? And I was like, well, Nigeria is a big country, but the change starts with me and you. If you're ready to speak out, I am ready to help you. And there's something I learned during the course of my studies in school, that we are advocates. Advocates for the right thing. So basically what I do is that I go into the field. If I find a sexually harassed person with special needs, I take up the case.
Wow.
And I report to the appropriate court.
Oh, that is so interesting. That is so interesting. Well, you said something about caregivers taking advantage of these ladies, especially blind girls. In this case, what can women like this do to protect themselves from this sexual harassment?
It's actually easy for someone who is sighted to run. But you can imagine a blind girl or a blind boy, because I promise you, boys are
blind too.
And they are being harassed.
Of course. So.
I had a story of a boy who is blind, and he actually came to me, and guess who was harassing him? Who was constantly having sexual intercourse with him was his mother.
Wow, that is weird.
And when he told me it was my mother, I was like,
oh my God,
I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I didn't show that I was shocked, but within me it was like...
We will call this ignorance. That the woman is an ignorant woman, or she just has a disease, or what?
Well, she felt she was teaching him how to make love to a woman in context, but she was actually, trespassing and going beyond. So people with special needs, they need special training, special education to know when to protect themselves, to know times, to know red signs, red signals, like this person is overstepping his boundaries. Now in a situation whereby I am trying to help you go on a step, like I'm blind, then someone is trying to help me go on a step, and there's a way you hold me that is inappropriate,
like holding to your waist, and
you're holding me
touching your breast and something like that,
or trying to touch my breast.
You don't have some men that do funny things like that.
Yes, and some men and some women. I don't want to let this discussion be gender based, because I deal with both boys and girls. Now, some men and some women, before they even harass you, the words they tell you, like you're beautiful, you have your physique is nice,
you're the only sugar in my tea.
Yes. Now, persons who are blind hear a lot. They are very sensitive to sound. Now, when they're not only sensitive to sound, they read your meaning within them. So their sensitivity, they have to channel it towards sexual abuse and be able to protect themselves. So the moment they don't feel safe around the person, they should try as much as possible to stay away from that person. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of caregivers in Nigeria. So help us God with persons with special needs, because constantly they are being abused. Constantly we've been educating them on how to protect themselves from sexual abuse, but we are not much in the field, so it's very frustrating.
So they have to stay away and avoid people who make such advances towards them.
Yes, and they should be able to report signs, report to the appropriate people. Like what someone like me, what me and my team, what we do is that when we visit schools or we visit homes of persons with special needs, we put our contacts, we give them our contacts. Now, if any child with special needs is having problems with any caregiver, what the child with special needs is to do is look for a means to send a message across to us. Now, when we get that message, we visit the home or we visit the school, and then we interrogate the person with special needs. And when we are done interrogating the person with special needs, we call these homes safe havens.
Safe havens.
Safe havens are homes where we can temporarily keep a child who is exposed to sexual abuse, a child with special needs who is exposed to sexual abuse for a while. Then, with time, we get somewhere that is safe, that we can permanently keep the child. Now, anywhere, a child can be abused anywhere, in the house or in school, even in the church or in the mosque.
Yes.
So the first thing for us is remove the child from the environment where that child is being abused and take the child to another environment where the child will be safe, temporarily. Then, with proper investigations and proper research, you can find somewhere safe for the child. So if the child is going to a school where the child is exposed to danger, you try and change the child to another school. If the child is going to a church where the child is exposed to danger, then we take the child, we tell the parents, And then when parents see that there are people fighting for these children, they become very careful, in the way they treat them, the way they handle their affairs. because, to be candid with you, this vulnerable minority in our country, Nigeria, are really silenced. They don't have people, a lot of people fighting for them. So people just take sighted people, able people take undue advantage of them. And guess what? Even disabled people take advantage of each other.
No,
yes,
this is interesting.
Yes, they sexually harass themselves. Can you imagine? I've had a case where a blind boy raped a blind.
In cases whereby disabled people harass another disabled person, like what you said now, a disabled boy harassing a disabled girl. I mean, what measures does your team take towards it?
Special needs on special needs. Justice has to take its course. For you to have known that you want to infringe on another person's body, or for you to have the intention of wanting to, sexually molest another person, because the person is disabled in whatever form, doesn't mean the person is not human. What everybody needs is informed consent. No means no.
Yes.
So if you're disabled and you're asking another disabled person, yes, can I have sexual intercourse with you? And she said no. No is no. So if you force yourself on her, or she forces herself on you, justice will take its course. Justice does not know able or disabled. Justice is justice. If you see the justice system, the statue has something covering her eyes,
blindfolding her eyes. Yes.
So that means we don't commit an offense.
It doesn't look at faces of people that this is rich or this is poor, or
this is able and this is disabled. So for a disabled person to have the guts to sexually harass another disabled person, justice will be served. And when I say justice, I promise you, complete justice, the A to Z of justice will be served.
Well, finally, I would like to ask you one interesting question. I would like to ask, what do you think that prompts people to harass another person? What do you think that prompts someone to sexually harass another person?
I basically think it's lack of discipline and lack of self-control. Now, some people, they are so loose, they just feel that they can have their way, in every way they want it. Now, in a situation whereby I have an urge to want to, have sexual intercourse, why can't I seek for your consent if I have to? And if you say no, why can't I control myself? So this it boils down to
upbringing.
Yes, upbringing, and then mental states.
Okay.
I think a perpetrator, like we call them, is mentally unbalanced.
Okay, sorry. Speaking on mental state of a person, a mentally challenged person, let me say someone that is maybe exposed to harmful drugs, if such person is found or guilty of sexual harassment, maybe forcing another person to have sex, is there any justice for such person?
Oh yes, there is. We have a psychiatric home, don't we?
Oh, we have, yes, no, we do.
So why we treat the person when the person is a little bit, sober? The person justice is served. Wow. So the person goes from the psychiatric home, you're treated, you're sober, then you go to court and you serve your jail term. The person, I'm sorry, I don't want to, direct it at you, but the person serves his or her jail term. So sexual abuse is a jailable offense. But what we are trying to do is trying to make persons with special needs speak up. If they don't speak up, there is no way we can help them. They have to learn to reach out to us. When you reach out to us, then we can take up the case.
So the most important thing is for them to speak up.
Yes.
Okay, what has the government done to address sexual harassment, especially for people with special needs? Well, we are going to go on a short break, and after when we come back, she's going to tell us some things. Welcome back. If you're just joining us on the show, this is the Moment for Women TV Talk Show, and we are talking about sexual harassment on people with special needs. And with me, we have Olori Bimbo Kolawole. Yes, ma'am. So now we are talking about what the government have done presently for the issue of this sexual harassment on people with special needs?
Unfortunately, for persons with special needs, they find themselves in a society where it's as if they don't exist. In our environments, we have termed persons with special needs like people who are cursed by God or who are not, In fact, we have some parents who don't bring out their children with special needs because they are ashamed of them. So our government does not even, in quotes, it's like they don't exist. Yes, it's like they don't exist. I had an event in 2015 where we created awareness of the prevalence of sexual abuse on persons with special needs. Okay. I visited, let me say, a district, a big district, a police district where they handle, cases of sexual abuse. And when I was talking to the person in charge, and I was like, I wanted to invite her over for a program, and I was like, I carried out research on persons with sexual abuse, and they are being sexually harassed on a daily basis. And she was like, it can happen, it's not in my state. I said, okay, I agree it's not in your state, but just attend, events, then let's pick it up from there. So what I did for that event was that I called on major stakeholders, I called on traditional rulers, I went to Ministry of Women Affairs, Child Protection Network, we called FIDA, that's I think Federation of Women Lawyers. They are like an NGO who fight for women who can't fight for themselves. Okay. So we called on major stakeholders to come for this town hall meeting with persons with special needs. So we called upon like 5 or 6 persons with special needs who were sexually molested. And when they started talking, most of the stakeholders were taken aback, like, is this happening in Nigeria?
And they didn't know this is a real life story.
So you see, as much as you bring awareness to the public, you have to take the awareness to the government. Because to the government, it's like, these people don't exist.
Exactly.
The way we treat our persons with special needs in Nigeria is very, very unfair. We need to raise bills that will protect them, protect their human rights and everything. But I don't want to be pessimistic, but I don't think the government have anything concrete on the ground for persons with special needs. That's why the public have to stand up for them, because these people don't have anybody standing up for them.
Wow, this is disheartening. I'm surprised to know that the society is taking the issue of sexual harassment on women for granted. This is very, very surprising, and it's so sad to hear such a thing. Are you in Nigeria right now? Come on to our social media platforms. Drop your comments. We would like to hear from you. You can go on our Facebook page at Moments for Women, our Twitter handle at Moments for Women. We would like to hear what you have to say on this. Okay, Ma, what do you think should be done to address this issue?
So some few years back, we started a public awareness campaign for persons with special needs. What we realized was that we had to tackle sexual abuse from its roots. So we took education, to children. We started from primary school age children. We said teaching them about their sexuality. We said teaching them about sexual abuse prevention. We taught them on factors influencing sexual abuse. Now what we now did, we didn't stop there, we carried it to the secondary school level. That's the junior high and the high school, and basically for children with special needs. So when I say children with special needs, we mean all clusters of children with special needs. So we'll teach them about their body system, we teach them how they function, we teach them how to control their sexual urges, we teach them to be able to speak up no matter what.
Which is very important.
Yes, which is very important. Then the measure of disclosure. Now some people don't know how to report sexual abuse.
Exactly.
Now, we teach them, when you're abused in school, report at home. Don't report in school, because you might still be exposed to that person.
So the same person who actually exposed you to that.
Yes. So in that kind of a situation, someone from the outside, it's going to be easy for the person to intervene. Now, when you're abused in church, you should report at home. When you're abused at home, you should come to the school and report. So you see the reporting channel. Right now, it's as if you're taking away your report from the environment where you are being abused. Okay, that's one. So we are teaching them to speak out. We are educating them. But one thing which is almost above us is creating a bigger safe haven for children who are exposed to sexual abuse. And this is where we want the government to come in. Now there should be like a home or an establishment where girls with special needs can be rehabilitated.
Okay.
Well, we have started something like that in Age Network, but we still, we can't do this on our own. The government have a responsibility over women with special needs, especially those who are exposed to abuse. Another thing I've seen is that people tamper with evidence. How do I mean? Sometimes some women are sexually harassed, women with special needs,
Okay.
and they go to wash up and clean up.
They just like close up, they don't tell anybody.
Even though they want to tell, before they tell, they meddle up the how do I put it, the investigation, the evidence of abuse. Like when you are sexually harassed, when someone rapes you,
Okay.
you don't go and wash up. You take yourself straight to the police station. From the police station, you go to a federal medical center.
Possibly with the evidence.
Your body is the evidence. Now, reporting to the federal medical center, there is a rape kit they have. Now, that rape kit, they use it to take samples from your body, and then they run series of investigations, and then they come out with conclusions on it. Those conclusions are what you can use in court to fight the perpetrator. But in a situation whereby you have washed up and you have cleaned up, there is no evidence to show. These are some of the things these people have to know. Unfortunately, people in this field are very, very small. We are few in number. You seldom see people go to children with special needs and say, protect yourself from sexual abuse. This is what you should do when there's an incident of sexual abuse. We need more educators. We need a lot of people in this field. People who have passion for children with special needs. People who have passion for girls with special needs. The summary is that children with special needs in Nigeria have zero idea about their sexuality, and this has been a major factor exposing them to sexual abuse. So they need to be educated and educated and educated. Education is empowerment.
Exactly.
When you educate a child, you empower the child. So it's not about intellectual education now. You have to educate the child in a kind of way that the child will be able to make informed decision about her health or his health. So education is key. So the government really have a lot to do. The society has a lot to do because our environment is not enabling. In a situation whereby someone with special abuse reports a case to the police, let's say a blind girl goes to the police and say, I was sexually molested, and the police is asking her, how did you see the person? You are blind. You see? The system is failing.
That's very sad.
So, everybody has to come together and help girls with special needs, boys with special needs, because these people are constantly being sexually molested and nothing is being done about it.
Wow, thank you very much, ma'am, for this wonderful information. We're glad to have you here on the show. Thank you very much for coming, for joining us. Well, viewers at home, you've heard it all. Please and please, if you are a victim of sexual harassment, do not go to wash yourself up. I mean, if you have just been harassed, don't go to the bathroom to wash yourself up. Kindly go to the nearest police station and report your case. Then you go to a federal medical center for evidence. I hope that we have all learned from what we have here today. If you have any reactions or comments, you can drop your messages on our social media platforms. Facebook page is Moments for Women, and our Twitter handle Moments for Women. You can also follow us on our YouTube page, Moments FOR Women. Thank you very much for staying with us on the show. I am your humble host, Chisom Akomefole. Thank you very much, Ma, for coming.
You're welcome.